How's it going, everyone? I was browsing my crazy long wish list on Steam, and it hit me that I hadn't really made an upcoming games list on this channel for a while. I usually pick a genre to theme it around, but thanks to my gamer ADD, I don't really know if I can stick to one genre at a time anymore. With that being said, let's take a look at some indie games you may have missed, ones releasing soon, and some to keep on your radar. As always, if you enjoy the content, help grow the channel by subbing if you aren't, as I'm super close to getting to 500 subs, but without any further ado, let's jump on in. Let's start off with a game that is right around the corner from releasing, and that is Jump Space. Making it to my most anticipated games of 2025 list from last year, Jump Space is a mission-based co-op PvE for 1 to 4 players. Set in a sci-fi futuristic setting, you set out as a crew of a spaceship as you encounter a variety of enemies in space and planetside. While on the ship, you can also handle emergencies, making it so that you don't really feel useless if you aren't the one piloting or handling the guns. Do you have no friends? Well, don't worry, as the developers made sure to give any single players a robotic companion to help share the workload. But it really does seem like Jump Ship is all about bringing your friends along for the chaos. Looking to release into early access on September 19th, you won't have to wait long before you can explore, upgrade, and survive intense encounters in deep space. If you don't have the patience to wait for a few days and need something to scratch your brain for a while, then why not check out the puzzle game Is the Seat Taken? In this logic puzzler, you play a matchmaker for groups of what can only be known as the world's pickiest people. Each character has pet peeves that make seating them a delightful challenge. There's a ton of charm, and while the solutions start simply, they begin to become more complex, and also allow you to even critique the picky people like this clip from Northern Lion.
I want to look at my phone. In the center of the room, you're a terrorist. That's insane. I want to look at my phone and be in the center of the room. You can't have both. You're a bad person.
In the end, it is up to you to find the perfect spot for each person to unlock new levels in this oddly relatable experience. So check it out if it seems like something you would enjoy. If you're looking for a different puzzle game and you still yearn for something akin to Portal, then maybe you should be keeping your eye out for ChromaGun 2: Die Hard. Utilizing a gun that shoots primary colors, you have to manipulate the environment and even mix colors to solve puzzles. However, a small disaster opens portals to strange universes that will keep you on your toes. While there is no official release date known for this, the Steam page does show that it should release sometime this year, and if you want to give it a shot, there is a demo to play to see if this stands out for you. Speaking of exploring alternative universes, what if I said you can soon do this?
This is my boomstick!
Well, on October 8th, you will get your wish with the early access release of Kingmakers. In all honesty, having a game revolve around taking modern weapons and transportation to the 1400s and letting loose on all the medieval knights in a sandbox-style approach with the goal to avert the future apocalypse kinda sounds like a great idea. Add on top of that the ability to build your own kingdom, manage and lead your own army into massive real-time battles, and to either do it solo or with up to 3 friends, and it shows the reason why Kingmakers has been a very highly anticipated game since its announcement back in early 2024. With only a few weeks until its release, you won't want to miss this when it hits early access. Are you and your friends needing something to hold you over until Kingmaker releases? Well, then you might want to check out Whisper Mountain Outbreak. This escape room meets co-op survival game sees you in the year 1998 as an ancient curse has been unleashed, trapping everyone on Mount Bizik. Survive alone or bring up to 3 friends as you explore, find clues, figure out a way to escape, and survive the horror. With a price tag of $8 USD and the ability to use a friend pass, there's really little reason not to give this one a shot. Maybe the high-octane multiplayer, shooter, or survival game isn't for you. What if you just wanted to live in a cyberpunk world and go about your day managing a small store that will over time become the go-to spot for everyone in the city? Well, if that's more your vibe, then you should be checking out Nivalis. This first-person slice-of-life sim will let you do whatever your heart desires, whether that be running a store, meeting various NPCs, building friendships, and even potential relationships with them, and explore and experience the danger and wonder of the cyberpunk voxel city that stretches from the ocean to the clouds. There may be a little bit of a wait on this, as the current indication shows that it should release sometime in 2025, but the developers already have a proven track record of nailing that cyberpunk vibe with their previous work in the delivery game Cloudpunk. So keep an eye on Nivalis if this one seems like something you would enjoy. And hey, maybe my last assessment was wrong. Maybe you do want a high-octane action-packed adventure, but you still yearn for that sandbox style allowing you to approach the game how you see fit. If that is the case, then maybe the upcoming game Where Winds Meet is right for you. The wuxia-style combat emulates all those fantastical martial arts movies that have been slowly making their way into the video game industry recently thanks to hits like Black Myth Wukong. Despite there being an actual storyline to follow, the game really prides itself on being able to let you play how you see fit thanks to impactful side stories and plenty to do with your friends thanks to a map that boasts to be about 20 square kilometers in size. While the game has technically been out for PC players in China since late 2024, other PC players and PS5 players will be able to get their hands on this game on November 14th. The game will be free to play, which we all know means there's going to be microtransactions. However, it still may be worth your time if you're looking to take on an engaging and fantastical game set during the fall of the Tang Dynasty. If you long for the days of Dead Space, then maybe you should be checking out Cronos: The New Dawn. This survival game keeps you on your toes by limiting your ammo and chucking monstrosities straight out of a John Carpenter film at you. It is up to you to jump back in time to harvest souls as you seek to uncover the origins of the apocalypse that wiped out humanity. Despite the fact that this is a full-price game, the team behind Cronos: The New Dawn have a proven track record of creating engaging horror games with the previous works including the Layer of Fear series, The Medium, and the remake of Silent Hill 2. And with spooky season right around the corner, this may be the best option to get your fright on. So making an extreme hard turn in theming, we have the upcoming game Winter Burrow. I spoke about this game in one of my previous list videos and it really hasn't left my radar since. This cozy woodland survival game is about a mouse returning home to restore their childhood burrow. It creates so many moments to warm your heart with resource gathering, crafting, knitting sweaters, and baking pies, but it also will keep you on your toes with a variety of predators in the wild. The official release window claims to be during the winter of 2025, but if you want to check out the game before that, there is a demo available that, while not super long, will give you the idea to see if this is something you should be picking up. Up next on this list is a game where I've actually gotten to chat with the developer, and that is the third-person roguelike shooter game Dread Protocol. This voxel art style game blends brutal combat and FTL style events. Each node on the map you explore presents you with a variety of outcomes, including needing to traverse a procedurally generated space station that has fully destructible walls. Add on top of that a fun physics system that allows you to yeet people and explosives all over the place, and it's a perfect recipe for you to get in and inflict some chaos. I've been playtesting the game for a while, and there's been a ton of great work done by one developer. It currently sits with a release date of October 8th, but there is a demo available for you to try if you aren't feeling super patient. Maybe you're missing an open world game that just allows you to do what you want while being serenaded by a fantastic soundtrack. If that's the case, then you should be checking out Sword of the Sea. Created by Giant Squid, who also created the hit games Abzu and The Pathless, and using the same artist who worked on those games and the critically acclaimed game Journey, Sword of the Sea is an atmospheric adventure game inspired by skateboarding and snowboarding, where you traverse through waves of sand and glistening water on an epic quest to restore a lost ocean. I know these style of games aren't for everyone, but I promise that the artistry behind them are always a pleasure to see, and I feel like the release of this latest game has gone relatively under the radar, so I wanted to make sure I at least said something about it to hopefully get the word out about another game that lets you explore the story rather than just moving from one node to the next. The last game to show up on this list is, of course, a deck building game, and that is Into the Grid. This game has gone through a massive visual overhaul from its first iteration, but the premise still stays the same. You are a hacker who is exploring and exploiting the dangers of cyberspace to fight evil corporations. The map traversal is unlike most deck builders as it allows you to revisit rooms whenever you want, and there are several options of what to do with each node in those rooms. But you have to be careful as many of these rooms have a watcher standing guard, and if you don't disable them, then you may start to leave a trace in the system. Leave too much of a trace and the rest of the system will start to become aware of your presence, and that will make those enemies much harder to deal with when you get to them. The goal is to get to the central node in the map and defeat the boss protecting it, but you better be prepared because these bosses do not mess around. This may be a game I do a demo diving video on, but I'd like to know more of a solid release date than Q4 of this year. But until then, I might as well keep playing the demo since I already have nearly over 3 hours of playtime in it, and you should be checking it out too if you're looking for your next deck building fix. And that was 12 new, upcoming, and worth keeping your eye out for games in the indie gaming world. Were there any on here that you were excited for? Let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you're excited for so that I don't miss out on all the great new offerings. But with that, that'll be it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, be kind to one another. Shoutouts go to Relativity, Naughty Dog is King, Chaos, and Kamikolo alongside all those subbed to the channel. Please consider subscribing if you aren't, because I am so close to the 500 sub milestone and I would just really like to get there, but either way, I will see you soon.